This is the pattern for my Merida cloak, Merida Easy 2566. And these are the pattern pieces that came with it. To the left we have the front, to the right the back, and over here we have the hood. And because I want a little bit more excess in the hood, because I'll be wearing a wig with a lot of hair, I've actually extended the width that way, as you can see, from the original pattern piece to allow for all the extra hair that's got to go under the hood, because otherwise this would have been a bit tight on its own. I wouldn't have had that extra fullness. The fabric I'm using I got off a local market stall. It's like a black stretch velvet with a textured pattern to it, which I know in this light is not very good to see. It's getting quite late at night now, but when it's finished I'm sure you'll be able to see it better. It is slightly stretchy. It also likes to curl when you've cut it, so I've cut it with some pinking shears. Okay, here I have my hood. I've sewn the back sleeve, and what I've next got to do is turn the edge over. So I put pins all the way across the top for now, and then I'm going to tack it down and then sew it so I've got a nice neat edge to my hood. Okay, I now have my hood, which is now had the edges turned inwards, so it's nice and neat on the outside, all sewn together. And this is ready to attach to my cape, which is already put together on the floor here. But just before I attach the hood, I just have to turn the ends inward and do a neat edge down the sides like I've just done on the hood. Okay, I've now sewn the hood to the main cape. I've sewn about an inch down from the top. I'll show you why in a second. Well, basically, it's just so that when you put your hood down, at the moment you can see this seam edge showing. It doesn't particularly look too nice, so we'll show you how to make it look a little bit nicer if you're really fussed about it looking tidy when you put your hood down and people see the back.
What we're going to do now to neaten it is to do a small turnover and then turn it over again and lay it down flat. Make sure it is flat, and then put a pin in that, and we're going to do that all the way across. Just do a small turn and then lay that turn down flat, so you're creating like a French seam. Pin won't go in. There we go. I'm going to do that all the way across, and then you're going to sew near the edge.
I'm going to try and make the brooch for my cape. That's the Disney World brooch, and I'm going to use some clay, oven baked clay in black, and I also have some silver to do the bears out of, and some paint to paint it afterwards. Okay, I know this is technically cheating a little bit, but I cut the brooch out the size I would want the finished thing to be, and then I cut the bears out individually. I again got my silver clay, and I'm rolling bits out, and then I'm going to place this over the clay and then cut around it. Okay, make sure your clay is nice and thinnish. Then place that over the top and just sort of stick it down, and then use a little craft knife just to cut around it, being very, very careful. Now this one here is the one I've just cut out of the clay. To make the little eyes that go between the bear's faces, just get a tiny bit of clay, roll it into a little ball, place it where it needs to be, and use something like the Bacchus paintbrush and just squash it a little bit flat, being very careful. I've also made a little round disc for the middle as well.
Right, turn the whole disc over and then carefully press halves of the stud fasteners into the clay. And then that is ready for baking.
This is the finished brooch. I used acrylic paint. This colour is metallic antique gold. It's quite a pale gold. And on the back is the poppers, which have set in quite nicely. I just need to sew on the other half of the poppers onto my cape, and it'll literally just attach onto the cape then. And it's not too heavy either. I thought it would end up being a bit heavy, but it's not too bad. There we go.
Okay, we've now put the stud fasteners onto the top of the cape, and this is what the back of the brooch looks like. We've actually got two of these, on each side. So one stud fastener holds one side, and then you attach the second stud fastener to the other side of the brooch, and there we go, quite secure. And this is the finished cape. Let's just put your hood down there, Trace. Okay, there you go.
Please visit my website for more written and photo tutorials at www.tracyscostumingworld.weebly.com. And on here I have the photos, the videos, costumes, and please feel free to write a comment on my website. Thank you.